We all know the line, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's shocking advice. It should be with insane power comes an insane hidden base, and that's a base that isn't a hole or a hidden painting, honestly. So I've got to work, and I've probably made one of my favourite things ever. I made Batman's hidden waterfall, and it's awesome. Okay, that's enough. I might just stop that there. Hello everyone, my name's Tomco, and welcome back, or welcome to, or welcome in, or where is that going? Anyways, welcome back to another redstone video for Minecraft Bedrock. Literally every other version but Java. So today I thought I'd gather my inner create the waterfall entrance, which is so popular for some reason. I absolutely love this design. I mean, it's essentially just a waterfall with a little bit of a door. But here we have three waterfalls. They all do the exact same thing. They just look a little different. We got the natural, we got the basic, and we got the modern bank look with the robots and the red carpet. Now, I've been looking around for a design for one of these for literally ages, but for some reason I cannot find a good one. It's either really big, or for like bow tie man's one, it isn't the usual design. So I've kind of had to make my own. Oh, and by the way, I'm back. I'm going to be uploading frequently again, so please sub. Anyways, you may be noticing the constant theme of levers on every single one of these waterfalls. Yeah, that's literally how you activate it. So you press the button, not the button, the lever. When you press the lever, these two blocks pop out, the door opens up, and then the waterfall is split in half. Honestly, I love the thing of this. Once again, reflect this. It does exactly the same thing, but the opposite way. I love this thing. It's so cool. Look at it. Honestly, if you have this in your base, your friends they won't steal you. They'll just admire you and respect you for the rest of your life. I'm telling you now. But yeah, this design is literally spread across the whole thing. So for example, it works on this one too. And of course, it works on the weird banks, goblins, robot things. Yes. Now you may be wondering, Tomco, you are a big fat idiot. Well, maybe not the fat part. I mean, my Minecraft character, you know, put another bit of weight. But levers. Yeah, levers. This one does use a lever, but don't worry, I'm going to be showing you how to make it use a secret input, or if you want to, it can make it so it uses buttons. Either one, whatever you want to use. Oh, a big jump. For example, this one over here, all you got to do is press some redstone dust there, then it'll either close or opens. As you can see, this one is currently closing right now, but we can also do it again to get it open. And also on this design, there's also a button at the back. I'm also going to be showing you how to do that. This is currently the smallest waterfall door you can make. It's only 4 blocks wide and 5 blocks long. Honestly, this thing is so tiny. And to be honest, most of it's 4 blocks by 4 blocks. Anyway, this bit at the bottom is the only bit that sticks out. And of course, this bit here. But we don't talk about that. And of course, you can extend it upwards. For this case, instead of it being an usual 8 blocks tall, I maxed it all the way to 11, which is probably the max you can go. But it is probably the smallest you can get it without going weird or using weird mechanics that I don't actually really understand. Now, by the way, the wall download for this wall will be in the description below. So anyways, we may as well just get straight into this tutorial. Okay, so welcome to the tutorial. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you want to plan out where everything is going to go. Now, the dimensions for this thing are 4 blocks wide, 5 blocks long, and on top of this, you're also going to need 10 blocks of free room. So let's say you're building this thing in a cave, you're also going to have to dig out these 10 blocks. So if you're like me, building it on a super flat, you're only going to need this bit. But then once you got this 4 by 5 thing in here, you're going to have to come 2 blocks in. So this block, 1 block up, and that's 1, 2, and 3 blocks. Then you get these 2 iron blocks here. Now, basically, what these 2 iron blocks here is this is where your 2x1 flush door will be flush with the wall. So your wall will be here. Then your waterfall will be sticking out 1 block in front of this. So your waterfall will be right here. This will be your wall. And this will be the door that will open up. So for reference, those 2 iron blocks over here will be these 2 stone blocks right here. And then, by the way, your waterfall will start 4 blocks on top of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where your waterfall will start and droop down and go all the way down here. So yeah, I hope that you got all of that planned out and you are building it in the right place. If not, I know how hassling and annoying it can be when you build something in the wrong place. But if you have any questions, let me know. Then inside this shulker box is everything you're going to need to make this. Now, I suggest you bring a bunch of decoration blocks and building blocks just so you don't get confused in which is which. I suggest you just bring a little bit extra in case you want to link up to a button onto this thing, or lever, or a hidden input. I am going to show you how to make a very simple one. Basically, if you want to add anything extra, I suggest you do bring just a little bit more resources with you. Anyways, now that I've got all of that in place, we can start building this thing. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to get your input in place. Now, the thing to do that is, you come to the very front, you come 1 to the right, and you place this sticky piston here. Now, this sticky piston will be the first step. So when we activate this, as you can see, that step pops up right there. That sticky piston over there will be the one pushing this step upwards. So I suggest you put any stone block or block that you will be able to see from the outside on top of this. You then want to come round to the back over here and place a block just directly next to it with some redstone dust on top of that, like so. Then this redstone dust will be your input block. So let's say you can attach a lever right next to this thing. and that is going to be your input. I'd also suggest you put a stone block on top of this, so when this is retracted, no water gets into this. That's the worst thing you could want. Then just come to a block to the left, and then a block up, just like so, with a regular piston facing upwards, just like that. 2 redstone torches on either side, and then 2 floor blocks, which will be on the inside of your secret entrance, just on top of these. Make sure that this one especially is a solid block. This cannot be a glass block or a half slab. This has to be solid. Then on top of this piston, just like so, you want to place in 3 regular wall blocks just on top of that. Now bear in mind, these wall blocks you're going to be able to see as this is going to be the inside of your secret entrance. So this is the runway, pathway even, that you're going to be walking through to get past everything. Make sure they want this to be a block that you can see and not an ugly cobblestone or dirt. Then you place a redstone block on top of this. Then you come around back to this redstone torch over here, and on top of it you want to place a block. Now don't worry, you're not going to be able to see this. You want to come and place a block just in front of that with some redstone dust on top of that, a block to the side, a redstone repeater set to 4 ticks that should turn on, then a block in front of that just like so. Then also placing this wood plank and filling the rest of this side of wall blocks. You then want to come round to the left over here and place a block down, redstone repeater set to 4 ticks with a block in front of that, then a block down, redstone repeater set to 1 tick. Now once again, this block you will be able to see on the outside, so I suggest you cover up with stone or something like that. Then I want to place a redstone torch just to the side of this, a block down, repeater set to 4 ticks. And I suggest what you do is placing 2 more blocks over here, and then also do something like this with the other side. And this is where the water will be falling into, so it has to be at least this big. So I suggest you just do like that for now, so when water does eventually come down, it won't ruin any redstone, and then if you want to, you can come back later and decorate it to how you want it to be. You then just place a block just in front of this 4 tick redstone repeater, with a redstone torch on top of that like so, a piston facing downwards with another redstone torch, then a redstone torch to the side of this piston with a block on top just like so. Now on top of this block you want to place a sticky piston facing upwards, then come round to the other side over here, you want to place in 2 sticky pistons, another 2 on top of that. You can temporarily destroy these iron blocks and place in 2 sticky pistons just like so. Then come around over here, place a redstone dust just like here. Then coming away from this redstone dust you want to place a block, redstone torch, block on top of that, and a block just to the right of it with a redstone repeater. Then it'll come up 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3. Throw these 2 bottom 2. Place a regular piston facing downwards, and then you can destroy this. Now what should happen when we flick that lever is that these 2 pistons, both of them should retract, and this bottom set of pistons over here, this will pull this back in. So we can test this out by flicking it actually. So when we flick this, those 2 get pulled in, those can get pulled back in, but this one is left here because we haven't linked up these anymore. But as you can see, it did in fact turn off. So as you can see, that redstone dust is now off, because if you remember this piston over here, has pushed this wall up, which then pushed this redstone block up here, and it's no longer connected to this redstone, therefore it's off. Now what's cool about this is that because this is constantly firing, as soon as this piston now stops retracting, stops extending actually, this piston will have a chance to fire this back down, once again activating this. So further through again, let's get pushed down, this is activated, and the whole door is pushed forward again. As that's essentially all this bottom circuit does. So now come around to this side again, and on top of this extended piston, you're going to place a barrel just like so. Then you want to put any item into this barrel. Look at my inventory, it's dreadful. This can literally be anything though, so I'm just going to put 1 lantern into it. Literally any block you have on hand that you don't need, throw it into this barrel just like so. You're going to place in 2 wall blocks here, and a ceiling block here. This was the tunnel, you can now see it. And a comparator coming away. This should be turning on now, by the way, because whatever's in this barrel will be activating it. And a redstone torch, just like so. Then here, you don't have to do this, but I just like to place a sea lantern here, just to add a little bit of light into it when it opens up. And another ceiling block here, but if you wanted to, this everything could be spruce. I'm just have a ceiling lantern here because it looks nice, yes. And then 2 1-tick delay repeaters just going straight into this. Now what it seems like it's going into absolutely nothing, or you'll be right. But then if you place in 2 stone blocks here, just like so, now bear in mind, this you will be able to see on the outside of your wall, so once again, make it something that looks nice, please. And what you want to do is on top of this redstone torch, you want to place a block, then 2 sticky pistons just like so, with another stone block on the edge of that. Now this is going to be the double piston extender, which extends out, and the waterfall will fall onto it, and split going onto either side of this puddle over here. Then to get yourself an observer, you want to come down, place a temporary block here, observer facing downwards just like so. Then another observer coming away from this one. So basically now that we place a repeater on this, every tick that's your sending signal. You want to place this repeater, set that to 3 ticks, then a block in front of this observer, redstone dust on that, just like so. Let's place a block up from this 3-tick delay repeater, a block down, redstone dust, then a repeater going straight into this sticky piston. Then on the side of this, you want to place a redstone torch, a block underneath that, and a block just like here. So now you can see, now that is extended. And also the double piston extender is working too. So what we can do is we can extend this lever and see the door will open up. There we go. And the double piston extender is extended. That's really cool actually. If you've done this so far, then good job, you're doing great. We have the easy bit now to do. There's everything done, easy bit to do. And of course, what should happen in now, if you unflick this, the door should close off, the double piston extender should retract. Bingo! There we go. Awesome. So now all we have to do is the very top, it's either pulls the extender in and the bit that turns off and off the water. Now come over to the top and you can see this repeater. You're going to place an observer facing upwards. Just on top of that, you want to place a stone block here, as basically you will be able to see the stone block if you were to look through the hole that the water's in. You want to place a stair on the other side of this. Use this stair, you are going to waterlog with the water, so this is where the waterfall will be coming from. So basically I suggest you make this all out with stone. You can place another stone block here, and then a stone block here, and a stone block underneath this, and here is the tube which the water will flow. So the water come from the stair, it'll go down over here, come out, and then all the way down here. Now to come round to the back over here, placing 2 blocks, both of which should have redstone dust on. You can place in 4 solid blocks, just like so. Redstone comparative facing into this, redstone comparative facing away. 2 pieces of redstone dust, you can just remove the stone block for now. Place a sticky piston here, place the stone block here, just like so. So now you want to get your water bucket out. Yes, we're pretty much done now. Get your water bucket and place it in the stair. Now it shouldn't flood anywhere, it should go straight down, it should go straight into this little pool over here. And now comes the big test. We've got to test it all. Now this bit's scary, but come on. So the water, yes, it gets shut off. The double piston extender fires and then it gets split. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's what we want. So now we can unflick it. And does it waterfall come back. It retracts, it extends. And there we go. So that is it. That's all the redstone done. So now you can tidy this up a bit. Maybe make it flush, decorate it a little bit. But just before we do that, I'm going to show you now, if you want to make this waterfall a bit higher, let's say you want to have it coming from a mountain, like all the way up there. I'm going to show you how to do that. So by the way, this is just in case you want to make the waterfall higher. If you don't want to do this, there will be a timestamp on the screen where I'm going to show you what to do after. Basically, if you want to make the waterfall so it's higher up, you can do this. So let's say you want to make it all the way up to the max, which is the 11 blocks. All you'd have to do is put an observer here. Then you want to get yourself a wooden door out. Place it here, observer up here, and then you're going to carry on for what we did normally, but with this. Let's say you want to make it up to 9 blocks, just add another observer on top of this. That will make the waterfall 9 blocks tall. If you want to make it 10 blocks tall, another observer. But if you want to make it all the way up to 11 blocks tall, you add a door, and then an observer. But that's the maximum you can make it though. You cannot go higher than 11 blocks, otherwise the timers gets messed up. But once again, all you'd have to do is place in a block here. Your staircase will be here. A block. Just blocks like so. Blocks covering it, and then 2 pieces of redstone dust, 4 blocks. Where's my comparators at? Over here. Comparator into that block, comparator, redstone dust, and then sticky piston, and then that will go into here. So your waterfall will start all the way up here, it will go all the way down into here. But if you are going to do that as well, you have to change this repeater over here, set that to 4 ticks. So now we have extended the waterfall all the way up to its max height. And it should still work. Come on. It closes off. The double piston extender fires and it gets split. Nice. Then of course, lever. Waterfall cools. And there we go. As you can see, it goes back in and the waterfall comes down. Nice. So once again, you can just decorate it all up. And after you change this repeater to 4 ticks, you're also going to have to come into here. Remove this block. Place a block down here. And set another repeater set to 4 ticks. I've just tested it out. It was a bit unreliable, but this fixes it. But now I'm going to show you how to add buttons into this thing and also a hidden input. So this part was not included in the item list, so you are going to have to get more materials if you want to do this. But basically your input is over here. So if you want to activate it, you are going to have to run a repeater straight into this block. It cannot be redstone dust, so it cannot be like this. It has to be a repeater straight into like that. And let's say you want to have just a link up to a lever and have a lever over here. There we go. You've done that. So now your lever's here. and you've linked it up correctly. Let's say you want a button here and a button on the inside. You're going to have to do something else to do that, and I will show you how to do it. So your button will be here on the inside of your door. You can literally have the button anywhere on the other side of the door. So let's say if you wanted a button here, or if you wanted a button here, you can have it anywhere, or if you wanted the secret input, you can have that anywhere on the outside too. What you want to do is you want to come down into here, place a redstone comparator going into this repeater. Then you want to get yourself 2 hoppers and place a block up, a hopper going into this block, on the other side, a hopper going into that hopper. Get yourself some more redstone dust, just like so. Block over here, redstone torch, and then a block on top of that. Now what you want to do is come round to this button over here, place a sticky piston facing downwards, observer coming away from that. So let's say we activate this, the observer faces this way. I want to activate something over here. We can test it out actually by activating this repeater. As you see, that should flash when you press the button. You don't literally, all you have to do is link a redstone dust wire straight into this redstone torch. Then on the other side, what you want to do is have a sticky piston here and observer here. Now this is where you can choose where you want to have your button on the other side. So let's say if you want your button miles away in another part of your base, so it's really secret, you can do that. Or if you just want it here, you can also have a button here. So if you do something like this, press it, that redstone dust should flash. You can even have more than 2 buttons onto this thing. Let's say you want another button all the way over here, you can also do it. As you see, it'll still flash. As long as you have any input going into this redstone line, it will work. But finally, I'm going to show you how to link up a secret input into this thing. Now to use the secret input, what you want to do is you want to find anywhere that has a corner. Now what I mean by this, so let's say I just extend this out a little bit. Let's say if I had a wall like this, but then one piece of stone right here, I could have it here. Or if you were next to a field of grass, and let's say you had a little bit of grass that went a bit like this, you could have it here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it right here, just like so. And let's say you could make this blend in by doing something like this, and you can blend it in with the whole mountain. So it's not too bad. Then once you have your redstone dust in place where you want your secret input to be, you're going to come round to the back side, and remove a little bit of space over here. Then you come round and under here, I'm going to place a lever, and activate that, just like so. So this redstone dust should be turning on now. So you want to come to this block, you want to come behind this, just like so. There's a repeater over here, a block, and a block down, redstone dust on this block. Then come round to where this lever is again, come straight onto this. What I want you to do is place a sticky piston, just like so. Then where this redstone dust is, carry on, place a block to the right of this, block down, block to the left. And as soon as you place in this redstone repeater, that sticky piston will lift up, destroying the redstone. And basically, when we do this, as you see, it goes in a big loop, and every time we do it, we get an output. So yes, you will have to have some source of redstone on you at all times if you want to get into this thing. But let's say if you had a chest nearby with some redstone dust in that you can use every time, it's absolutely alright. But then finally, all you got to do is link up this straight into this again. So let's say if your hidden input was somewhere over there, all you have to do is link up the redstone dust here straight into this. But now, as you can see, every time we do this, that will trigger. So we do this, that flashes. We do this, that flashes. And finally, you will just have to put an item into this hopper. So any item, just pop it in. One single item. Make sure that there only is one item in this hopper, by the way. One item in both of these hoppers. So none in here, just one in here. But now we can test it out. If you place a piece of redstone dust here, the door should open. It didn't open. So what you're going to do actually, just make sure that this is set to 4.6 before linking it in. And it's going too fast. So that sticky piston, it's firing into that. It's firing too quick than it is. But now that we've got that in place, should be able to do it again. And we activate this. And there we go. As you can see now, it is opening up. How cool is that? So imagine having this on like the cliffside of summit, so you can carry on decorating it. You can make it look like it would fit in here. Maybe have some stone here. Go it up to this. You can do whatever you want with this thing. And of course, we can go on through. We can press this button and it should all close behind us. Just like so. There we go. Nice and secret. And by the way, you can of course extend this little pool of water here to be anywhere as big as you want it to be. And if you want another stepping stone, let's say you want one here as well, all you'd have to do to link that up is add another sticky piston here and then connect this to this redstone dust over here, or literally just do something like this. There we go, as you can see, it's now connected to that. Anyways, that is tutorial done. I hope you enjoy it. I especially enjoyed designing this. It took me literally ages to get it to the size it is. Of course, it is the smallest. If you have any questions or struggling to build it, let me know. I'll try my best to help you out. Anyways, that's all from me, and I'll see you all later. Have fun with the new awesome waterfall splitter door. I love this thing.